This is like when you just have bald eagles just flying out of here.
Those are for birds.
This is for low flying birds.
Yeah.
No, that's what you need. You need a sticker here that has the intake. You know?
Oh yeah, caution intake.
I'm Larry Chen. We're at Holley Ellis Fest in beautiful Las Vegas, but we're in the middle of a sandstorm, hence us shooting right next to the men's restroom. The last video we actually shot next to the women's restroom. This is Jessie of Jessie's Performance, and this is one insane Camaro that you've built. This is a customer's car.
This is a customer's car. Yep, this is Q's car. It started out as a pretty nice, just a third gen IROC car, and it was black before, but he's like, I want to build a race car, and I was like, okay, let's do it. You know, and I'd built a couple of F-bodies before. I had a third gen race car before, so I was familiar with the platform, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Talk about an understatement, like race car. All right, so the story is, I saw this car on the starting, in the staging lanes right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and you know, for me, my favorite part of shooting drag racing is the burnout, without a doubt.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to do a good burnout.
Oh yeah.
And then so when people get up to the burnout box and they just do a 1 second, quick little, with no tire smoke, it makes me upset.
Yo, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's like I wasted my time being there.
Right. It doesn't matter how fast the car goes after that. It's all what happens in the burnout box that gets you going.
Yeah, you got to do a John Force style burnout.
Yep.
But when this Camaro pulled up to the line, it did the fattest burnout to the point where the actual track was smoking for a long time because it laid down like two strips of rubber.
That's awesome.
And the rubber was still smoking.
Right.
It was so cool, and it just, I didn't expect it from something like this, but I guess that's kind of the point, right? You built this to look a little more subtle.
Yeah, so, you know, obviously my car is like a restored version of what it is, right? Well, this customer wanted basically that, but a race car instead of a street car. So that's why we fully restored the outside and made it look just like a factory IROC with some wheels on it, you know? And then the important part was what was under the hood. Yeah,
this is incredible. We'll get to this, but let's talk about the body. So is this all metal still?
It's all factory body panels. Yeah, that was one of the things. We just wanted to keep it a streetable car if we ever wanted, you know, and needed, and it's got functioning headlights and stuff. But yeah, we wanted it to have all the original body panels, just that way it was, no one could ever say anything at any race, you know what I'm saying?
So this is factory, the flare is factory.
This is all factory, yep. Huh. Nothing was actually modified for the front end or the rear end or any of that, actually.
This is interesting.
Maybe that's not factory.
This is not so factory.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because with the hood on it, you can obviously tell something's going on with it because of the wheels. But then you look at this on both sides, just incredible. And the headlights, or lack thereof, headlights. So what else on the body side have you changed, have you touched?
Basically, we stripped the car down to metal, straightened all the body out. We had some old bodywork that wasn't that good before. Straightened all that bodywork out and just repainted the whole car, you know. And that's essentially it. That was the easy task on this car.
And it started out life as a pretty clean car.
When it showed up, it looked like a pretty clean car. Like I said, we did find some old bodywork that was starting to lift and stuff, and that's why, you know, we started the snowball effect of bodywork.
So this is kind of one of those chassis that I feel like there was one point, I bet you could find them for what, $1,000, $2,000?
I used to buy these cars out of like trailer parks and stuff with like a dented fender for like 500 bucks.
Really?
Yeah, there was one that I bought for a case of beer. I traded the guy a case of beer for the car, and I had to bring my own wheels because then it was sitting on cinder blocks.
That's incredible. And now it's gone to the point where they're more sought after, and potentially they could turn into something like this. And who would have known that you would spend so much time and effort and love to bring this to this level?
We get asked why occasionally, you know, but the thing is these cars work really well with the torque arm suspension on the drag strip, and they handle really well on a road race course, and they got good street manners. So like all around, like no matter which avenue you take. This is actually a really good chassis to start with.
Well, especially because it is essentially how many more times the stock horsepower now?
If we put a stock, it's almost 10 times the amount of power.
No way.
Yeah. This factory car probably made 112 horsepower on the dyno.
That's incredible. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Like 10 times the amount of horsepower.
Yeah.
Other than that, so the outside, the only way you can tell there's something funny going on is the power disconnect out here.
Yep.
And also the battery charger.
Yep.
Right? What about the underneath? This, I'm sure everything is all brand new underneath.
Yeah, it's got a quick performance 35 spline 9-inch. It's got all aftermarket lower control arms and torque arm and all the goodies you need. You know, Willwood brakes and just your typical off-the-shelf parts. There's nothing super crazy as far as that goes on this car.
I love the plate too.
Yeah.
That plate is so good. Yeah, let's take a look at the engine bay though.
Okay.
Okay, so what am I actually looking at?
So it's a forged bottom end 5.3. And it's got just a turbo kit we made. These are 67, 62 mirror image VS turbos. And then just a big like CX Racing intercooler. And it's got 210 cc or 210 pound injectors. Runs on E85. It makes about 1,000 horsepower. Conservatively, we haven't even turned this thing up, you know, that crazy yet.
Because this is its first outing?
This is its first, well, we did a private track rental and then we tested before we came, but we haven't gave it full power yet.
And potentially with full power, it could be?
It should go 5.0, 490 in the eighth, full power, 1250 horsepower.
So it's built for the 8th mile?
Well, where we're at, our local track's 8th mile, so we're just judging everything by that. We got to drive an extra hour to go to a quarter-mile track.
Got it.
Yeah.
I really like this idea that you just hollow out this light bucket. This is the actual light bucket too, right?
So yeah, it's the actual light bucket, and that's an insert that they used to sell. I can't find them anymore, but yeah, they were actually on my car when my car was twin turbo many years ago, and I just reused them on this car because I was like, man, that'd be so cool. Yeah.
It's so funny looking. You know, it's just hilarious. And plus, of course, it still has headlights.
Yeah, it still has, functioning headlights and stuff, so.
This is just so, it's just so much going on. I mean, so tell me about the suspension setup here.
So it's got QA1 coilovers front and rear, and the upper camber caster plates. We did cut the front end off and built a custom tubular front end. And that was the challenge on these cars is once you cut that front end off, you have almost 4 feet of just blank space. And how do you fill it? And what do you do with it? And you know what I'm saying? And that's how we ended up with the V-mount stuff. But as far as suspension goes, it's got a manual rack and pinion. It's got a light chromoly K-member, subframe connectors. I mean, like I said, just your typical, you know, you find an F-body at the track, this has the same stuff as that car.
What is this?
That's the coolant overflow tank.
What? It just, so it kind of almost just disappears in it.
That was the idea, is I didn't want to have a big gaudy something or another, so I was like, well, I'll just build something that will kind of fit right there. Huh. And it's got, you know, by NHRA sanction, it's got to hold at least a quart of fluid.
Right.
So it was hard, there was nowhere just a normal can would fit.
This is so neat too. I love it. It looks so good.
I appreciate it.
I've never seen anything like this too. This is super cool. This is the best way to be able to adjust the camber. Right.
Yeah, rather than messing with the struts and stuff, I mean, I could set it up right with the car with all its weight on it. Just time, you know, saving.
So this is in full drag setup, obviously, with the wheels and tires.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, if you wanted to drive it, you could drive it. You know, it's, I guess, you know what I'm saying? It don't have air conditioning and stuff, but it's got
Can we take a look at the inside?
Yeah. So inside, we wanted to keep some original feel to the car. It does have a 6-point chromoly cage. We never intended it on the car going as fast as it is even, so we'll probably have to add to that pretty soon. But we left the original dash, we left the original console, we put new carpet, it's got floor mats, you know. I just wanted it to feel like a street trim car.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that it still has the stock door panel.
These are the original door panel. We never even took them off the doors when we did the bodywork.
The windows still work?
Yeah, the windows crank up and down, yeah. Yep. Yep.
I can't believe it. And tell me about the transmission.
It's a reverse pattern turbo 400 with like a 3600 stall converter. Nothing crazy. It's got trans brake and it's got all the good stuff. It should, you know, handle 1500, 2000 horsepower.
I can't believe how clean it is.
We sanded the whole inside of this car and repainted the whole inside of this car after we did the cage.
How many man hours did it take to get this car to this point? Do you know?
Probably over, well over 400 man hours between everything we've done. Just because I'm a meticulous guy and I like my stuff to be like nice and perfect, and the fit and finish is the important part. And so we spent a lot of extra hours.
I talk about this a lot, but you are the current generation, you know? You're the current generation of hot rodders.
Yeah.
You know, the old school guys, whilst a lot of them, most of them are still around, they're not really tinkering on these sort of cars.
Right.
Right? So
yeah.
These are the cars that we grew up. When we were kids, like these are the cars that we saw in the street.
Yep.
And now they're coming back. They're making a comeback, you know? And
yeah.
they need the attention. They deserve the attention that you guys are giving.
Right, right. Because although when you see this thing on jack stands rusting away in someone's driveway, it may look like a turd, but they polish up really, really nice. You know, it's a great looking car. Like, you can't help but double take on this car.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Huh. Amazing. Really good job. Yeah, we'll get some more shots of you guys ripping down the track with this thing. It just looks amazing, sounds amazing, and it does some insane burnouts.
Yeah.
So cool.
Cool, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Again, we're gonna keep shooting at Holly LS Fest here in Las Vegas, and we gotta keep shooting at Jessie's cars. This thing is just too much. I love it. So we'll get some more shots of this thing. See you guys in the next video.